Hello, my name is Mallory Farrell, and this is my presentation on adaptive and assistive technology. Definitions. Adaptive technology is any piece of existing technology that can be modified by using an app or other form to make the lives of someone living with a disability easier. Assistive technology is any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of an individual with a disability. This does not include surgical devices or the replacement of them. Laws. Prior to 1988, there were no laws that actually mandated the use of assistive technology, so that's one of the new facts that I learned. The Americans with Disabilities Act required that there be government-mandated disability discrimination laws where employees, state and local governments, public accommodations, commercial facilities, transportation, and telecommunications had to accommodate these people's needs. There are 4 titles, and Title 4 specifically addresses technology with telecommunications. They were required by law to help people who are deaf or hard of hearing. They had to make accommodations for their phones. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, also known as the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, has been passed many times since 1995 when it was first passed, most recently in 2004. And this granted that all eligible children and youth with disabilities would have a free, appropriate public education available to them that is designed to meet their unique educational needs. The Assistive Technology Act intended to improve the provisions of assistable technology to individuals with disabilities through statewide programs such as the state finance systems, device reutilization programs, device loan programs, and device demonstration programs. Under Section 508 Rehabilitation Act, it requires that all electronic and information technologies developed and used by federal government agencies must be accessible to people with disabilities. This includes websites, videos, and audio tapes, electronic books, television programs, and other such media. This does not apply to private sectors or to organizations that receive federal funds. Funding. In January 1995, school districts became the primary source of funding via the IDEA's legislation for the free appropriate public education. Parents are not required to become the primary source for funding locations. That is a school district's job. Insurance companies. Private family insurances can be filed to help pay for assistive technology, but parental consent must be obtained. Private partnerships are available, but due to the limited funds, there must be proof that all local, state, and federal programs had been applied to and denied before the client is considered. There are benefits to loan rental and leases. In a loan equipment rental, the client is allowed to test out the different forms of assistive technology to figure out which works the best for them without having to purchase all of them. The rental and lease equipment may have advantages. One is that the school districts are able to rent the equipment, and as technology advances, they are able to upgrade without making lump sum purchases. Classroom usage. iPads are used in the classroom because their apps are usually engaging and perceived by students as fun, they have a strong learning component, and they can be used as a reward for students who have worked hard. Teachers can find apps to supplement just about any lesson they are working on, and they are instrumental in helping some of the most challenging students read, talk, and connect. One instance is of a child having communication problems, and through using the iPad, they were able to communicate and not have a meltdown. They were able to point to pictures and phrases to communicate their needs and get their message across. iPads also bridge the gap between special education students and general education students. Another example would be text-to-speech or speech-to-text devices. These apps can be found on almost any device or computer. Teachers can use these for students who are learning a new language, who have speech and language impairments, fine motor skill impairments, visual impairments, or hearing impairments. Common Core Standards. For students that require assistive technology, Common Core State standards must be modified to help meet those needs. Below are some standards with an appropriate accommodation. The standard, read more complex text, is accommodated to scaffold comprehension and fluency while reading higher level texts. Handle content area text is transformed into supported reading graded level text with speech and reading comprehension guides. Outside of the classroom, wheelchairs can be used for people who have motor impairments to help move around, and most public places have alternative methods for people who have disabilities wherein it could limit them into getting inside, such as schools, churches, and most government-owned buildings. Computers can be used inside and outside of the classroom, not only for schoolwork but also for communication. Communication aids come in a variety of formats from handhelds to apps on iPads or iPhones. One instance is using like a pegboard or a picture board to help communicate thoughts for nonverbal students. Behavior management aids can be in the form of apps, watches, or other handhelds to help individuals navigate through their lives. One example of this was an app that I found where the events of the day, like getting out of bed, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, those were all listed, and they were able to place a check mark by those after they completed that. Trainings. Training should include instruction on setting up and using the device, working with the modifications to the device, learning to troubleshoot problems, and making use of the device to meet the student's educational goals. Hands-on training is an essential element, and staff training should be provided on a regular basis due to the advances in technology. There are many statewide resources available for trainings, such as individualized assessments for homeschool and worksite modifications, website assessments, training on early childhood and school-age development and the technology services, and training on a wide variety of assistive devices. Websites. This is my first website, Autism Speaks, Family Services Assistive Technology. This website includes a bunch of resources on assistive devices, apps, or alternative communication boards, also behavior management ones that help students with autism manage not only their lives, they help communicate, they help manage their behavior, and they also help them in school. One specific one that was very interesting was Proloco to Go. This is an assistive wear, and it provides communication to people who have difficulty speaking. It makes their speech sound natural, and it has powerful conjunctions and a difficult vocabulary that allows everybody to access what they really want to say. And it's also used with an iPhone or an iPad Touch, which is very nice. My second website is over Edutopia on assistive technology resources. On the website, at first it opens up with a video that explains what assistive technology is and some of the vocabulary associated with it. It also includes some examples. It has an introduction with another video that just breaks down how assistive technology benefits students with learning disabilities. It provides resources for helping faculty and parents find assistive technology funding. It has tips and tools. And then it also has specific resources for learning differences, physical challenges, sensory impairments. One thing that I really liked was that it included a bunch of resources for Universal Design for Learning. And Universal Design for Learning isn't just for students that have special needs. It is for every student. It helps them learn better. This is my video. It's Assistive Technology in Action. Meet L.O. Gorman. She is an active teenager with cerebral palsy.
Hi, my name is L.O. Gorman. I am 14 years old. I like to go shopping at the mall. I have two brothers named Cole and Carter.
Hi, my name is Jill Gorman, and my daughter is Elle Gorman. She is 14 years old and diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
This is my Dynavox. I use it to talk.
Dynavox is an augmentative communication device that helps her communicate with us and her peers and at school.
When I look at a picture using my head mouse, the Dynavox talks for me.
Without the Dynavox, had a difficulty communicating what her needs were. People tend to underestimate her ability, or what she understood and what she was able to express.
I like to write emails with my Dynavox. Before I had my Dynavox, I used a laptop.
We started out with just a simple book chart that was broken into categories, and she would eye gaze towards the pictures that she wanted. From there, we advanced to trying out a Pathfinder, which had too many buttons for her and was a little bit frustrating for her. So we went to a laptop with a communication software. From there, we went to the Dynavox.
I am learning to use more buttons to tell people what I am thinking.
The school played a role in helping us find the Dynavox. The assistive technology specialist who's been helping the district, who helps Ellie, was very instrumental in helping us. Ella's on an IEP, and so it was an IEP team decision to determine what device would work best for her. So they helped select the Dynavox, trial it, and then helped with funding. We contacted Dynavox first and did I believe, a 6-week trial. During that trial period, we had to write extensive amount of monitoring to give detail about the trial. The speech pathologist, along with the assistive technology specialist from the district, helped in writing all of that up. And then we had to submit it to insurance to see if it would be approved.
My teachers helped me with my Dynavox.
We've all had training from Dynavox, and again, the assistive technology specialist has trained her IEP team. So modifications and additions to stuff are added at school, and sometimes I add them at home as I think of things. So it's really a team approach.
At school, I can chat with friends, interact with my teachers, and practice my letters and numbers.
The Dynavox has really opened up a lot of doors for Ellie in terms of just being able to tell us everything that she wants and needs, and as well as helped with school and communicating with her peers, and included some social opportunities for her. And so we will continue to explore future technology options, see if there's anything new and improved and better, which I'm sure they will be in the future.
And here's my reflective paper. After being able to do this project, I've learned that I want to continue my education and apply for the Special Education Master's Program at UAM and continue to help these students. And then here is my bibliography.